Welcome to the Poundcast. We are back on Zoom, back where we belong, back to the heart of it all,
Back where it all started.
back where it all started. Now, before we get into it, I got to tell you about something. Kentucky Future Chicken. That is the newest flavor of Louisville vegan jerky.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Let's click on it at lvjco.com and look. This is transport forward with us to Kentucky Future Chicken, our tribute to 12 years of flavor innovation. To celebrate this milestone, we've crafted a special blend of 12 herbs and spices, each chosen to create a savory, plant-based masterpiece. So that is the newest flavor from Louisville Vegan Jerky, our sponsor today, that we truly love and makes our mouth water. And if you're a Poundcast listener, you're not going to believe this. You're going to get 20% off. 20. That's huge. 20% off your entire order if you go to lvjco.com and use the code word Poundcast. When you check out, you will get 20% off your entire order. Let's look at this chicken. What do they got here? 0 cholesterol per bag. That's pretty good. I guess you don't want that. 20 grams of protein per bag. And it is gluten-free, animal and cruelty-free, non-GMO, made in the USA. Wow, you can't go wrong by going to lvjco.com and using the code word Poundcast to get 20% off. Now, you can get a bundle, too. They have these bundles. You can build your own, or you can get all 6 main flavors. But, of course, they have the monthly small batch flavors that just keep dropping, and they keep hitting hard, okay? We're talking holiday dinner feast. We're talking Farby's roast beef and cheddar, and Riff Raff's orange chicken, Serengeti's Chicago Italian beef sandwich. And I can't say anything, but I met someone, or I didn't meet them. I know someone who has their own flavor coming out.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I won't spoil it. It's going to be a surprise. That's why you got to keep checking in over at lvjco.com because they're doing good stuff over there. And
You
use the
can't
code.
even say who. You
I don't
can't
want to
even.
say it. I don't, I don't know if it's a surprise, but I don't want to say it. I
Can
can
you
tell
give
you.
us one ingredient?
See, if even if I give the ingredient away,
I'm just kidding.
that might even spoil it, you know.
I'm just kidding, and I don't even care because I like to be surprised. And when I
Yeah.
go and when I want surprises, I go every month to lvjco.com, and so should you. And if you don't want to go there, you can go to Whole Foods or Sprouts or any place like that.
Yeah, if you don't want to get your 20% with the Poundcast discount, you want to buy it in your local store that sells delicious foods, go right ahead. But I'll tell you this, you won't regret it. Now, you know what else you won't regret? Signing up for our Patreon, because every week on the show there's bonus material that you get exclusive access to by being a patron on patreon.com/poundcast. And when you sign up there, you get the Unzipped, because every episode has a special bonus section. Once the show's over, if you're just going listening to this on your podcast app and you're not a patron, you get the free hour ish, whatever, how long we go. But once we get to the end of that hour, usually we're warmed up, we got we're jazzed up. Then
But also,
that's when the juice comes loose, and you get to listen to it by being a patron at patreon.com/poundcast. If you sign up today, you'll feel good about yourself, and you'll feel good about helping out this little mom and pop shop we got.
you get it a couple days early, and you also get it. It's kind of semi ad free.
Yeah, and Brent, posts special his picks, his top 10 lists, top top lists of things. You get bonus stuff, and it's never ending, and you get access to all the older immediate access to all the older Unzipped episodes.
We've
That
had lots of laughs over
there's a
the
huge
years.
catalog of stuff you'll get
Lots of
instant
laughs.
access to.
And you know what else?
What?
These days we're going balls out. We're doing copyright stuff, unzipped. You know what I mean? We're not worried about a thing. We're listening to music, no problem.
And today I have a music game that I'm going to play with you, Brent, on the Unzipped
Oh, I can't wait.
episode.
I truly can't wait. I'm going to be, if I'm being honest, I can't wait.
Well, I would also like to say that we are on YouTube. This is being recorded, and you can watch us sit here on Zoom, talk to each other, look at our beautiful faces at youtube.com/the Poundcast. And of course, the Unzipped. You know, when you get on Patreon, you'll be able to see the Unzipped visual version of it if you so choose. And we are also on social media at the Poundcast. I am at socially media at Doug Pound, DOUGGPOUND. Mostly Instagram. I I log into TikTok once in a while, but you know. Anyway, you can find me there. You can find Poundcast at the Poundcast. And you can find Brent Weinbach Comedy on Instagram, I guess, and elsewhere.
Just Brent Weinbach regular on Twitter and Brent Weinbach regular on YouTube.
Beautiful. Well, that's probably about it for the intros here.
Let's get the motor started.
Let's get the motor started. Let's.
I want to. I'm going to mention something, but just in, I don't know, just in case people might have skipped the intro, I'll mention it after the title sequence.
Okay. And oh, well, let's roll the clip. Here we go. Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast. And we are back.
We are back
into the Poundcast.
And I want to make a quick announcement real quick that on Monday, April 8th, if you're in the Los Angeles area, I'm doing a live an in-person version of the Chicken Coop, which is the live stream show I do with my sister. But we're doing it in person, so there'll be a live crowd, and you can come. And it's going to be at the Improv Lab, and tickets are on sale now. Just go to my Twitter account or Instagram or wherever, or the community tab on my YouTube channel, and you'll find a link to the tickets there. And it will also be streamed online. It's at 7 p.m. Pacific time, April 8th, Monday, Improv Lab. If you're in Hollywood, come check it out. Be there. Let's make history together. It's our 100th episode.
And speaking of history, that's where the restaurant episode of Pound House was filmed. So you can be part of cinema history by being in that very same venue.
Mm-hmm. You can order the nuggets and see what happens.
Yeah, bring BYONs nuggets. I might also mention that I'll be on tour with Eric Andre. We're going to be going to Europe. We're talking many shows in England, Scandinavia, Germany.
Amazing stuff, Doug.
And that's going to be at ericandretour.com. I know I have a lot of pimples out there in Europe, various areas. So you got to show up for your boy, all right? ericandretour.com.
What a life you live.
Yeah. Well, okay. Speaking of that, I just look, there's my bags there. I just got back from I got a few stories from the road. I forgot to mention this one story that happened in Australia in Adelaide.
Mm-hmm.
There's this really funny TV show called what is it called?
Crocodile Dundee.
Nah.
The show.
No, no, it's called Danger Five. Danger Five. You know that there's a show you can watch some of it on. It's
Tubi,
out. It's out there. It looks like you can watch it on maybe Pluto and Sling and
Freebie.
Tubi. Tubi. It's on Tubi.
That's what I said.
Yeah, and it's a really cool dubbed comedy show that kind of in the vein of like a 60s sort of um double
Austin
oh
Powers.
007 kind of
Yeah.
spy.
Get smart.
Yeah, it's kind of in that vein. Well, we know the guys that created it, and we were going to go hang out and go to dinner with them. So me and Eric we rented our scooters that we get, our Lime scooters. And then on the way there, we were kind of running late because of the scooter app. You know, we had to get the app, and we took a wrong turn, and then our scooters shut off because they only work in the proper areas. You know, it knows where you are.
Uh-huh. It
They
knows when you're
powered they
sleeping.
they powered down, and we went through this park, and there was this woman laying on her back, foaming at the mouth,
Oh my
like
gosh.
this wasn't just like a passed out.
She was having a seizure.
She wasn't quite even. We couldn't tell what was going on. We called triple Z. I guess they do it there. They do 000. Not
Wait,
triple Z.
hold
But
on. That's triple Z.
I know, I got it wrong. 000. I think that's their nine. We called their 911, whatever it is. So you know, Eric called it. We're like, we can't go. We can't just leave this happening here. We didn't. Yes, sir.
Quick question. What was she wearing?
Uh, I'm not really sure. I think,
An age?
huh?
Age?
30s to 40s. I mean, she looked kind of rough, like a woman that maybe
Lives on the streets.
perhaps lives on the streets. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Carry on.
and she was foaming at the mouth. She was laying on her back. She was breathing. We couldn't just let we couldn't just do nothing and go on our merry way. It was bad enough where we were like, this is messed up. So we called. We're like thinking they're going to send an ambulance over. And Eric's on the phone with them. They're asking all these questions. Is she breathing? How does she look now? Has she said anything? And he's like, no, I don't know. Just send the, where are you? We're like, we don't know. There's a McDonald's over there. We're like trying to like, this is our first time in this town. We don't know.
Right.
So finally, they finally show up. And I see them on this is in a big park. They're playing cricket in the middle. And this is at night. And not a lot of people are walking past. One other girl passed, and she was another good Samaritan, and she was like, "Oh well, let me." She kind of helped her roll over on her side or something. And this camera crew, the crew shows up with a camera guy, and
Really?
they're filming it like it's an episode of like a reality show, like Cops. You
Uh-huh.
know what I mean? Like Emergency is a show about
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
ambulance emergencies. And Eric is in disguise. He's got his like mask on and he's got his helmet. And
Wait, he's in disguise?
well, he kind of goes in disguise in public because he's so recognizable. He'll wear, you
Really?
know, like a K95 to cover his face, and he'll wear sunglasses, and he'll kind of try to be incognito because he's so recognizable. People
Huh.
hassle him on they're always wanting a picture. Sometimes
Yeah.
he has to just we're late for a dinner and he doesn't want to be stopped. And
Right.
so anyway, they show up with the camera crew and they're asking Eric, "Hey, can you sign this release? What's your name?" He's like, "No, no, no, no. We're just trying to help this lady."
But
So then
you were
so
all over it though. You were
I
you
was
were
like,
getting in
"Yeah,
the shot.
what me? No, no.
Get me in the shot.
No, no. We then our scooters are stalled out, you know, they wouldn't work because we're off not in the driving area and we're running real late. So then I try to push it into where it's in the proper area for use. Cause like we turned down this park and we're coasting down a hill till we ran into the lady. We try to push it up the hill and then a siren goes off. Like we're trying to steal a scooter. I'm like, no, no, I'm just trying to
Huh.
get it
Oh
into
my
the
god.
zone so I can turn it back on. So we left the scooters.
Oh my gosh.
We go up to the street. We're like super late. We're texting our friends. We're like, sorry, we're running late. The restaurant was going to close soon, even. So then he's like, I'm gonna call an Uber. We call an Uber, and then immediately we're like in straight up bumper to bumper traffic. There's like construction where the people walking on the sidewalk were going faster than us. Like we were
Uh,
stopped.
yeah.
So we're like, what the hell, man? Everything just keeps going wrong. I mean, a lady's having a, by the way, I forgot to like put my helmet back on the scooter. You're supposed to, it comes with a helmet. You're supposed to like, you have to wear it. It knows when you unlatch it.
Uh-huh.
I had to go return the helmet. And the lady's sitting up. She's like, get the fuck away from me.
That was the foaming lady?
Yeah. They got her, they got her up. They got her alert.
Was that by the time you were in the car, you realized, oh, I have the helmet, and so you
No,
just
no,
got
like
out
we
of the
were
car?
waiting for the Uber and I had to like run back down the hill.
Mhm.
It was a few minutes later.
Wow, so she was pretty aggro.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened with that. Anyway, so then we get in the car and then we're like this bumper to bumper. Then we're like talking to the driver, like, dude, can we just get out right here? We just got out. We ran down. We made it in time. It was a very delicious dinner. But I thought that was
That's
a
in-
weird story that
that
happened.
is interesting. Yeah, it's a lot of action. Action in Adelaide.
Hmm. I Yeah, it was such a bizarre scene. It was like so grim. Like me and him are just standing there, like, man, this is just, when you're like, you're on vacation, then you're like confronted with like some serious like life or death situation.
Sure.
It was very grim. I
Right.
was thinking, I kind of want to take a photo though, just to like
Oh my gosh.
document the scene,
Right. You didn't though.
I did.
Oh, you.
It was kind of a wide shot. I was just like, this is just a memory. It's just a snapshot of him. I didn't violate this woman's privacy. I was kind of far away and it was dark out. I got a shot of
Wow.
Eric standing there on the phone.
And will we see this photo on Unzipped?
Maybe in the unzip, I might show it. Um, so that was kind of interesting. And then last week, just this past weekend, I was in Portland for Tim Fest, which was a
Sure.
great, great show. One of the best crowds I've ever performed for, to be
Wow.
honest.
Wow.
It was incredible. But um, my friend, who I won't say who it is, I have a friend that lives in Portland. I got there Friday afternoon.
Let me guess. He was foaming at the mouth.
He was foaming at the mouth. What is going on with this foam? No, my friend says, hey, I was like, what are you doing tonight? I think we all went out to a beautiful dinner. The crew, we flew in, we found this beautiful, um, not me. It was called, what's this country that is now called Myanmar, but it was called
Burma. Burma.
It was, the food was Burma. It was called like Top Burmese. Great
Hmm.
restaurant. I'm going to plug it. And then we're sitting all outside. Who comes walking by is Tommy Wiseau
No
from,
kidding.
yeah.
Huh. Really?
He was having a screening of The Room, like right down the street. You could see the theater from the
Huh.
restaurant. He comes walking down the street. Tim freaks out. Tommy, Tommy. He's like screaming at the top of his lungs, making a big scene. Tommy walks right past us. Tommy, Tommy, Tommy. And he's like, hi, 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 thinking it's just some fan bugging him. And he goes, Tommy, it's Tim. It's Tim. We work together. Tim Heidecker, Tim and Eric. And finally he he figured it out and then he came walking back. So that was interesting. So anyway, we went out to dinner, and then after the dinner,
Well, wait a second. Wait a second. So, what did Tommy say? What did he came over and he talked?
yeah, they just kind of like had some. I should have filmed it. I think I got a photo, which I can show that too.
Wait, but what was Tommy like? Did he go, "Oh, hi, yeah, how you doing, Tim? I'm here in Portland doing the screening.
He said,
What are you
"Oh
doing
hi,
here?
Tim." Yeah, he
What are
said,
you?
"Oh hi, Tim."
Oh, hi, Tim. What are you doing here, man?"
I think Tim. I think he was like assumed Tim was going to his show, and Tim was like, "No, I have my own show like tomorrow."
And what did Tommy say? He
But
said, "Oh, okay."
Tommy was with like a handler, and the handler was like, "Oh, we're gonna show his new." I guess he made a new movie called Shark.
Hmm.
So yeah, it wasn't it wasn't very memorable. It was sort of like, hey, how are you? You're doing this, I'm doing that. Great to see you. We should work together again, or some
Hmm.
pleasantries that you do when you're passing by and you stop for 5 minutes.
Sure.
But then, everyone wanted the photo with him real quick.
Yeah.
He had quite a belt system. He had those like studded hardcore like heavy metal belt on.
Uh-huh.
But it was like wrapped around like 3 times where the bottom loop was like down below his butt.
Yeah, he's a fashion kind of guy.
Yeah, it was very fashionable. And he had the sunglasses on. He had the whole look going.
Huh.
Oh, dude. And then, oh man, I could pull this up too. He somebody who also went to Tim Fest was like, check this out. We got our photo with Tommy. Tommy is in a plexiglass to take photos with his fans. He was in a plexiglass box.
Yeah.
Like he's sitting back there like a you know what I mean? Like a
It's
wax
like a
figure. Like
it's like a mausoleum. It's like
yeah, you're
it's
taking a
like
photo with you're not yeah, he's like in a box and it's just I'll pull that up. I'll pull that photo up too.
So wait a second. He does that because he doesn't want to there's too much germs and stuff?
Well, first of all, when he stopped to talk to us, he either put his gloves on or he already had them on, but he was definitely gloved and it was not cold out, but he had like these winter ass gloves on. So when he went to take the pictures, I think he might have he might be, kind of a germaphobe. No,
Mhm. No
whatever.
disrespect.
People are gonna do what they're gonna do. But I thought
No dis
the box was like that was something else I'd never seen before.
Yeah, that's funny.
I
The
mean,
box.
that was
I
wild.
want to start doing that, man.
You
Let's
gotta
start
start
doing
doing
that.
that box. Yeah, there's something you'd like. Get into that box.
It's like he's some sort of corpse or something.
Mhm.
It's like he's like in a
Like he's a Russian president who's like
right,
lying in state. You know what
right,
I mean? He's like
right.
Lenin or something.
He's like
Yeah.
he's Lenin, or he's
Yeah.
like it's as if it's like he's not animated anymore. He's frozen or something like that. Like he's a cryogenic or
Right.
whatever it's
He's
called.
lying in state. Don't they call it
Yeah.
that? So
I
okay,
saw I
I'm
saw
just
Lenin, but
oh you
I saw
did?
Lenin's body. Yeah.
You get to see that?
I saw
Really?
Lenin's body in the box. Yeah, it's a clear box. Yeah.
Can you still look at that body?
I
Oh
don't
my
know. This
God,
was a
look
long
at
time
it.
ago. This was over 20 years ago. Yeah. It's interesting.
Dude, despite the 85 years that have passed since his death, Lenin's body remains relatively intact.
Yeah, it's in good condition.
You
Definitely,
could
they
still look
preserve
at
it.
that. You could still look at that. That seems terrifying. Imagine if like that's what's gonna happen to you. People could just look at your your embalmed body. That's
Hey, as
disgusting.
long as I'm
I want to
surrounded
see people
by
see pictures of me happy and fresh, not some like some corpse. It's
yeah, it is
terrifying.
interesting.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's gross, dude. Anyway, that's just a side story. The main story is later that night. I mean, we were stuffed. I was ready for bed, but I did hit up my friend. I'm like, hey, I wanted to catch up with him. He was like, I don't know. He goes, yeah, I'm gonna be at the Soho House. I put you on the list. I'm thinking Soho House. Do you know what that is?
well, I mean, isn't Soho House? There's one in London, and then there's the Soho House in Los Angeles, which is kind of a upscale workplace environment for people or something like that, right?
Well, look it up. It's a global hotel chain and group of private. It's basically a social club.
Oh, social club. Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
what it stands for.
the first one's well, I no, the first one stands for Soho, which is south of
Houston, Houston.
it started in Soho, England, or
Yes, Houston,
London.
south of Houston.
Do they have a Houston in London too?
Yeah, I think so.
Soho, London.
I
Name.
don't know. I don't know.
Uh oh, check this out. Soho's name derives from an English 16th century hunting cry, Soho, when
Oh,
the area was open fields and grazing land.
really?
But the one in New York, Soho in New York means south of Houston. But
That's
the
what I
one in
thought.
England means something
Huh.
else. Anyway, the Soho House, um, yeah, okay, it's a global chain of these like it's a private club. It's really expensive and exclusive, and it doesn't seem very Portland. You know what I mean? I've been to the one in LA. I did a show there.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, it's ritzy.
It's kind of
It's
got
like
that. It's
people want to like be seen there, and it's like this rich hipster. It's kind of
not
hipster, but
hipster.
it is a little bit,
It's
people are
influencer.
right. There's not hipster in a way, but you know what I'm saying? It's like it's people are dialed up and they're dressed up, but in a way that's like
They're kind of trying to
it's
look.
not just business attire. It's people are
No, no, not business. I don't mean business attire. I meant it's it's where influencers go to work
they don't work
and
there.
network
They don't work there. It's a social place where they network.
or network and meetings. They have
Right.
people have
You
meetings
have
there.
meetings. It's like, oh, meet me at the Soho House.
Yeah, it's meetings.
You have meetings. They have food and whatever. You have to be a member. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I was like, I don't want to go to the Soho House, but I was like, I'll put me on the list. I'll check anything out once. I'm only in Portland a couple days, so I go there, ride my scooter down there, of course, my Lime scooter. And I get there and there's no name. It's just like this nondescript big brick building. And there's a guy bouncer out front with a velvet rope. People are waiting in line.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, whatever. I go to wait in line. There's not too many people in line, 6 people in front of me, maybe 8. As soon as I stand in line, this group of maybe 15 to 20 people show up.
And they're all foaming at the mouth.
They basically were. They were holding up signs protesting
Oh,
Soho House at us in line. They're like,
whoa.
we don't want Soho House in Portland. Also, it wasn't, you would think it would be downtown, but this was like in the cool part of town, like southeast Portland or something.
Yeah.
On the other side of the river,
Oh,
not where
interesting.
you would expect it.
Yeah.
So they're coming up and they're screaming at us. They're screaming right at me. Why do you want to give money to pedophiles?
Pedophiles.
Yeah, they're like, the owner of Soho is connected to what was that guy? Jeffrey Epstein. He was at Epstein Island. You're giving money to pedophiles. We don't want this in our town. We're not going anywhere. We're gonna be here every single night. And I'm standing there like, oh my God, I don't know. I'm not a member. I'm sort of like, I almost wanted to like explain, like, I'm just meeting some. I've never been here. I don't like so
You
I
should
don't
have put
really
up your
like
own.
I know I don't like it, but I just had to take it and wait in that line where they're screaming at me.
And they were they harassing you
No, it
specifically?
wasn't particularly me, but they were like right there, like right in front. I'm looking at them like, oh.
Did you do a thing where you're waiting in line and there's a guy right at you? Did you have to look at him and go like this? Did you do something like that where you looked a little bit at somebody really closely and then had to turn away?
Mm, I was just in such shock because they weren't there. If they were there already protesting, I probably wouldn't have gotten in line. I would have been like, I'll see you tomorrow. I don't need to go to this, you know?
Yeah.
But it was like with less than a minute. It was seconds after I got in line.
Wow,
The
that's
protest
good.
started immediately right when I stood in line.
It's kind of good
But,
timing. Was any of them filming anything or shooting anything on a video?
oh boy. Wow. Good question. That would have been extra. Then I probably would have said something on tape like, hey man, I'm just meeting my friend here. I don't even know what this is. I've never been
All
here.
right.
Turns out it
Yeah.
was the grand opening of the Portland Soho House.
You go like this. You go, I'm just meeting my friend here. Okay, I don't know anything about it. My friend is Jeffrey Epstein Jr. He's, you know, we just came here to discuss some children that we were interested in. You
Yeah,
know, it's no big deal. Okay,
I
stop.
should have done that. And then I talked to some people in there. It's a grand opening. I was waiting in line and these people were yelling this stuff. And they're like, yeah, well, they're right. I'm like, they're like, yeah, they're right, but this place is cool, right? And I'm like, all right, fair
That's
enough.
funny.
At least they're honest about it.
That's pretty funny.
So that happened. And then, I get there and like Talib Kweli was DJing.
Hmm.
They get these big names.
Yeah.
And it's like so loud. I can barely talk to anyone. I just have my earplugs in the whole time. It was not I wasn't like, I'm thinking, this is lame.
You were thinking that.
I was. I'm like, they're coming around with all this food that I
There
don't.
wasn't a single part of it that you thought this is pretty cool. I could
I
get
mean,
used to
it
this.
looked cool. Like the design of it was kind of old timey. They kept it. It looked like a period kind of.
It's a period piece.
It's a period piece. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Whatever.
Adventures on the road for you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel? By the way, how did it feel to be on the other side of a protest? Did it feel
I
hurtful?
never been on the other side of a protest.
Was it hurtful at all? Did it feel and
Well,
did,
I wasn't their target demographic.
I
I
guess
guess in a way I was participating in the
yeah,
thing, but I was kind of an innocent bystander.
sure.
And
Did you
well, it kind of worked because now that I didn't know that about the Soho House. I thought it was just a douchey, you know, club.
yeah,
It's just like the other ones that are around.
yeah.
I didn't know it had the guy that founded it. Well, we could look into it. I didn't know anything about any controversy.
Right.
Mm, I guess they were I think they might have been also yelling about the work, or maybe it's something I looked up, but I think they were saying the people that work there don't make enough money or
Hmm.
something like that.
Wages.
Wages.
Wages and
I'm also
wages.
thinking like in this day and age with what's going on in the world, do we need something like this?
Hmm.
You know, do we need to be
Well,
like all drinking and celebrating like for what?
we're celebrating the children. Where there's no place to celebrate the children in private, you know?
Hmm. People need a
Yeah.
place. Anyway, I think we should listen to some of them more of those voicemails because
Okay, we've got some more voice messages from listeners, and we're going to get into those right after this.
right after what?
I thought maybe we can cut to. Oh, there's no ad this week. Okay, never mind. I thought there was an ad. I forgot there wasn't an ad this week, like a mid-roll ad. But also, I wanted an opportunity to take a quick pause too. But
Oh, we'll take a pause if you wish. You want me
okay,
to
let's
pause it?
pause. Yeah, please pause.
Okay. And we are back. And Brent, I believe, has a voicemail queued up.
We've got one
If you want to
locked
leave
in.
a voicemail, let me just drop the number quickly. 213-207-6952. That's the number. If you want to leave us a voicemail.
Okay, well, this one's coming to us from the 719 area code.
Hey, Poundcast. Hey, Doug. Hey, Brett. Man, I got a serious worry of mine. Been going on for 3.5 years now. Was dating someone and COVID, and I really fucked it up. She found out that I was on Bumble, and I can't really understand why I was even on there. So, man, if you guys could give me a call back, give me some feedback on how to move on, how to forgive myself, that would be sick. My number is
Oh,
You didn't see that
my
coming,
name is
Brent?
Phil.
no.
When he said, call me back?
Whatever. We'll bleep it out. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
I
here,
mean,
let
we
me
could
just.
call him if you want. I could try to put him on speaker. Okay, Phil, we got you on the line here. Can you describe your problem and we can try to help you out?
I mean, we heard your message, but maybe we could just hear you say it live.
Sure. I'm not quite sure what exactly, because I don't remember leaving the message terribly
Oh,
well.
Here's
okay.
what you
Well,
said. You had a
I think it,
girlfriend and then for a few years, but then she found you on Bumble and then things went
yeah.
sour. So what happened? Why were you on Bumble?
So it's a little more complicated than just that. And what happened was I like just started a master's degree and I was studying in London. Um, but literally the day before I flew to start my program, I got a DUI. I was arrested for a DUI. So it was like this moment in time where I should have been incredibly happy and starting my life and whatnot. But the day before I left, that happened. So it was like that crippling anxiety of, oh my God, what did I do with my life? So when I got to London, I was kind of on and off, just like freaking out and having panic attacks. Um, but then I met this girl probably in November of 2019, and she kind of flipped the script on me. Like I've never experienced love ever before in my life, and this is a time where I just like fell head over heels in love with this girl. And I'm not sure, so it's kind of complicated because I met her in 2019, and then we were like dating and falling in love, and then COVID hit, right? So everyone kind of took it on the nose with that.
Were you
But
in
I felt like I was in a good position.
Were you in London at this time?
I was, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. But so like a month into dating her too, I got an email from my lawyer saying all the charges have been dropped because the police like really fucked up the whole thing. So I was like super happy and excited. Like I was over that chapter in my life. I was in love with this girl. And then lockdown hit, and for some reason, I don't know why, but like that darkness inside me of being arrested because I'd never been in trouble with the law, it kept like creeping up and getting in between me and her. And I just kind of became super inward and introverted and not explaining anything to her. And it just kind of like, not sure, I guess creeping feelings of like abandonment started coming into my life. So then I don't know why I was expressing myself through like meeting people through Tinder and Bumble towards the end of the relationship. And so we both had to like go our separate ways because she lived in Burma, I lived here in the States. But we were going to do the long distance thing until we could come back together after lockdowns and everything. But at the same time, we didn't know where the world was going to be in a couple of months.
Quick question.
It's like the super, yeah.
Was she in London at the same time?
Yeah, so we met in London and we decided to like lock down in London.
And so was she going
we
to
were together.
Was she going to your school in London, or like how did you meet someone from Burma in London?
So we met on Bumble.
Okay.
Funny thing. But the thing is, we shared a lot in common because I actually do consulting for the UN in Bangkok on and off. So I had done a lot of projects in Yangon, and she was from Yangon, so we kind of like connected on those levels too. So there's a lot we had in common. There's a lot of cultural differences too, but I'm not quite sure what happened when we like separated from each other. I got back on Bumble and I was, I don't know, trying to find someone else or trying to find like fill that void. But then she explained, like she was telling me about a story about her friend who like uses Tinder to find like flings, like gay flings all over the world. And I was like, well, yeah, sometimes I use it to like find friends when I'm alone. She found that super strange. So then she had a friend like move her location to where I'm from, and she found me, and it all went to shit. I'm not even quite sure what like my question is.
Well, I guess okay. Well, let's figure this all. First of all, after the DUI, was that a wake up call for you? Did you get sober after that, or what? I mean, or what were the circumstances of the DUI? Are you were driving drunk? Is that a regular thing for you, or what was up with that?
No, so that's the funny thing too, is that night, because it was the night before I left, so I was going to go meet some friends just to hang out. I actually took an Uber out that night because I knew I was going to be drinking. But a couple of drinks after, my friend drove there, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll just drive back to your place, and his house is a couple blocks away. Boom, ran a red light, got arrested. Never had a problem with the law before, not a big issue in my life.
You ran a red light and you were drunk?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
But
you,
it's never been a problem before. I felt super bad. That's why, like, instead of getting sober, I did the typical, like, vain human thing of just seeking more solace in the same thing that got me to that place. So I started drinking more. Um,
really? And so
yeah,
the increased drinking that had some sort of negative effect on the relationship also.
I would say so. Yeah.
Huh.
The problem is, I guess my question is 4 years down the line, I don't know if I've ever processed like what I did to her because I've never been a malicious person, but I feel like I harmed someone that cared so much about me, and I can't find forgiveness. Like I can't forgive myself. I
Well,
I'm so lost. So
I think the Poundcast is probably the wrong podcast for
yeah.
our advice. I think you should use a therapist. Better help. Use the code word pound.
Oh my
But
gosh.
seriously,
Dude,
probably a therapist would, if you want a real answer, sounds like you need
well,
to talk to somebody and you have yeah, you got some guilt and
I,
you
I, I
don't want to be carrying that around with you. You want to be able to be a happy person, then you will attract other happiness in your life.
I'm not a professional, but feels like maybe you felt guilty about the DUI, maybe, or just about maybe you haven't fully come to terms with a drinking problem. I don't know, and because you said that you started drinking more, and so then maybe that was at odds with having somebody really good in your life, and that some kind of feeling of I don't deserve this person or something like that, and then maybe acting in a way that would sabotage the relationship because you've deep down didn't feel like you deserve this good girl in your life or whatever because of, and that's all tied to your maybe drinking and stuff or something like that. I don't know. Is there something there that resonates with you, what I just said, or?
yeah, I guess the biggest reason why I called in is because I've kind of come to head with all of this already. And I've talked to a therapist, I've tried pretty much everything. But
So
it's still
you
just like
Where do you live now?
I live in the States, but I'm actually heading to Bangkok next month.
Well, look,
um
why don't you look forward to your trip and try to just be, I don't know, just try to be present and enjoy what do you like to do
and don't say drink and drive.
besides drinking and
No.
driving? Just kidding.
uh, I'm a big biker. I love to bike. Um,
Wild hog style,
that's
or what are we
a major
talking?
thing I
Special? Are
do.
we talking specialized? Or are we talking wild hog?
Ooh, you gotta give me a definition of wild hog.
Like a motorcycle or or a bicycle? I assume bicycle.
I do both actually.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so I guess in Bangkok I have a bit of a death wish because I love driving my motorcycle really fast in traffic there. Um, that's kind of
are
a hobby of mine.
are you still drinking?
On and off, but I've said probably 90% less than I ever have in life. So maybe like a drink or two every other week.
Hmm. Okay. Maybe try none at all. See what happens. Maybe I don't know. Or not.
Yeah, and that's like, what do you guys do with like, how do you take something that you really used to enjoy and just celebrate the death of it?
Okay. Um.
did you say celebrate the death of it?
Yeah, I know what he means. I just try to feel grateful that I got to have that in my, that I got to experience that. Even if it was something that isn't
Mhm.
around anymore. I just I just think about the good times. And it doesn't make me it doesn't make me sad that it's not around anymore. It just makes me think I feel grateful I did get to experience it even if it was for a period of time only.
Yeah, just try to be grateful. This is turning into like a real self-help podcast now. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess.
what you could do is, this is self-help 101. You can journal, try to write things you're grateful for every day when you wake up. Start your day just with, I mean, okay, imagine that DUI. Imagine you read the red light. What if you got T-boned and your friend got killed? Your friend, is he alive
Yeah.
or she?
Yeah.
Just be grateful that that it's not
No,
worse.
everyone's safe.
Yeah. So just be grateful that, the charges got dropped and you had a little, you're not the worst person on earth for doing that. That's happened to a lot of people. You learned your lesson and you got, just look at it as I try to, we all make mistakes. I've made mistakes and I try to like say when things fail or if something's a mistake, you just try to look at it like, oh, that was a lesson. That wasn't a mistake. That was a lesson that I've hopefully learned from. And then, you look forward to being better the next time.
Well, it's also good to own up to the mistake too, though, and acknowledge it, because maybe that's part of the problem, is that maybe you weren't fully acknowledging that or embracing the idea that you did make a mistake. And people do make mistakes, and that's part of learning,
Right.
So that, owning it, coming to terms with that you made a mistake, maybe that is part of the problem too. I don't know. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that's definitely part of the problem. It's difficult when you've tried all of the steps and still 4 years down the line, you can't really pull yourself out of that muck because there's still something keeping you there. But
yeah, well, so I guess the reason you came to us is because what you'd really like is some joke answers.
Pretty much.
Some joke solutions.
Something more lighthearted than just like constantly being down on myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's think of something lighthearted here. How's about this? Get a real doll. And name her, what your ex-girlfriend's name. I don't know.
Here, I have an idea.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
When you go to Bangkok, you can be, you don't have to be, when you're in the States, everyone knows who you are. You're Phil, right? You go to Bangkok as a whole new country.
Yeah.
Now you're Lip.
Throw away everything that belongs to Phil. Get a new look. I think you should dress up like, what's that Jim Carrey movie? He's got the mask on. You could wear like a zoot suit, like
It's called The Mask.
The Mask.
The one where he has the mask? Oh,
Yeah.
You mean The Mask?
Yeah, be the mask. I mean, you don't have to wear a mask or anything, but take on a new identity and it'll be kind of like everything. You're like, you're not you anymore. You've shed that. You have a whole new look.
Go green.
You don't have to look like the mask. You could look
Go
like
green. No, go green. You could look like the mask.
just go green. Just be someone else for a little bit and learn what
How does the real doll fit into this?
Well, I was, I don't know. I was just
Brent's
thinking.
solution, but
I was just thinking, if you're lonely, you can just hang out with the doll, and the doll can keep you company or whatever. And you could also make those mask jokes to the doll. You could, because she's not going to think it's corny or anything. If you go, somebody stop me or whatever you want to say as the mask, she's not going to think, oh, that's corny or that's a Jim Carrey impression. She's going to think, oh, that's original. That's original stuff right there. That's original material. I know it's pretty. This is a pretty demented solution, pretty, convoluted as well. But I think, I think that kind of convolution can maybe delight you in some kind of way.
Yeah, break up the ruminating thoughts.
Are you ruminating a lot? Is that happening a lot?
I would say so.
I mean, I got a classic move that I do. This classic move, and Doug kind of mentioned it already. If I'm kind of too in my head, something I try to do is just to be more present and less, or if I'm thinking about, say, the past too much, or thinking about something that I'm obsessing over, and I don't want to think about that, I just start describing what's in front of me, there's whatever. You just look right in front of you.
There's a real doll there's a real doll up in front of me to my right.
There's a mask costume to my left.
To my left.
A zoot suit. I'm wearing a zoot suit. It's yellow.
I got my zoot suit pants on.
I'm looking at my green skin. describe everything in front of you. And before you know it, you're thinking about those things and not the thing you don't want to think about. It's really just a practice in staying present.
Hey, Phil, get this book, and you can check it out at the library, even on audiobook. It's called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I guarantee
I've heard a lot about him, but I've never actually checked him out. Yeah.
No, read the audiobook because he reads it. He's got a soothing voice. And he had some kind of existential crisis when he was 27 or in his late 20s, where he was extremely depressed and he was stuck. Sounds like a similar situation to what you're in. And he came to this epiphany that, you're worried about the things you've done in the past. There is no past, it turns out. There's only now. So it just helps you remember that the past is the past, and that doesn't even exist. All there is now. So just when you can be set free when you realize that all you got is now.
I'd also like to add to the book list. Another suggestion is a book by the name of Dianetics. And this was written by a man named L. Ron Hubbard, a genius. And it's really a great gateway to a lifestyle that will really make you feel connected and, part of something bigger.
It will set you free.
It will set you free.
Role models that you should that follow this Dianetics.
I'm sorry?
Any good role models to follow that follow this Dianetics?
Yeah, I mean, Tom Cruise is a great person.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise. Giovanni Ribisi would be a great person to look to. Giovanni Ribisi, right? From movies such as Suburbia and The Boiler Room. And TV shows such as The Wonder Years. But I
have one more idea. Get off Bumble. Get on Grindr. See what's up. Why not? Check it out.
Reframe my life perspective.
Yeah. You know what? Because these chicks, they're trouble. You want to start hanging out with some dudes.
You know what? It's boys' time.
It's time for some boys' fun. All right.
Okay. You're going to Bangkok, man. You know what time it is. It's boys' time. It's boys' time.
Anyway, when are you going to Bangkok?
Just about the middle of next month, so middle of April.
Well, look forward to your trip. Just plan on, enjoying everything, the delicious. I went there once, the delicious food. It's cheap. There's a lot. It's an exciting, bustling city that you'll forget about all your troubles in the States when you go there.
Well, that's the thing. I spent the majority of the past couple of years there. So when I go there, it's for work, and it's really
all right. So it's going to be like
being serious.
I see. Okay. Well,
okay. Hey, well, yeah. Okay. Well, hey, you know what?
You could also, if you're worried about this ex-girlfriend, you could reach out to her, unless she's blocked you. You don't want to bother her. You could reach out to her.
I'm blocked. I've reached out. I've tried that.
Well, you got to fly to. Where's she from? Myanmar?
Yeah, probably not the best idea at the moment.
Yeah, fly and find her and bang on her window in the middle of the night.
Bring the real doll.
And bring the real doll and say, "Look what you made me do."
Or just look. I just wanted to tell you I don't need you anymore. I've found some.
Hold up the real doll and over your head like John Cusack. And say anything.
I just wanted you to know I'm happy and I found somebody new, and I'm reading Dianetics and I'm becoming a better person. Actually, leave a copy of Dianetics for her too. I just wanted to tell you about this book I've been reading.
Oh man.
Well, Phil, look, we wish you the best. Thanks for calling us back here, and
I appreciate it.
We hope we helped.
We hope that maybe at least there was a couple of laughs there, at the very least,
Definitely. I appreciate everything you guys do. You give me a lot of smiles in times when I'm feeling down. So that's super appreciated.
Well, we're always here for you. Just fire up your podcast app and pick up any episode, and you're gonna feel better. That's my main. That's my suggestion.
Cheers, Doug.
All right, thanks, Phil.
All right, Phil.
And all the best. Keep us posted. All right.
I'll try. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
All right, Philzy.
213-207-69 213-207-6952. Leave us a voicemail. Should we go Unzipped now? I'm not sure how long of a.
You know what? That sounds like right. I mean, it sounds about right. Wow,
That sounds about right. Let's go Unzipped.
that was just one call. We only did one call. That's interesting. But hey, that sounds about right. Let's do it.
Well, it turned into a whole thing there, you know?
Yeah, it did. It became a whole thing, actually.
Came into a whole thing.
I think
Well,
you know what? I felt good about it. I thought it was a good, nice mix of jokes and, you know, some real stuff too. And
some real doll.
And some real doll.
I mean, we did. We're becoming like real.
Become real dolls.
We're becoming real dolls now. All right.
We used to be
look.
joke dolls. Now we're real dolls.
Yeah.
You know what to do, guys.
You want to keep listening? Go to patreon.com/poundcast. Become a patron. You won't regret it.
We might take we might listen to another voice message in the Unzip, but more importantly, we're going to look at a Tommy Wiseau in the box. We're going to look at, which I imagine looks like a real Tommy Wiseau in a way. You know what I mean? It probably looks like a doll. And we're going to look at.
No, he's there.
No, I know, but I'm saying because he's in a box, it looks
like a
fake.
box. Yeah.
So then, and we're going to look at some, the scene of the sort of the foaming incident.
We might look at that.
So we'll see. Who knows? We might listen to some tunes. I don't know what's going to happen, But...
Oh no, I have my game too. I'll play that. Game.
We gotta. I'm so excited about the game. That's what we're doing. So we're probably not gonna listen to any messages. But anyway, patreon.com/poundcast. You know what to do. Thank you to Jack Birch for his help behind the scenes. And again, April 8th, Improv Lab, Chicken Coop live with my sister and me.
EricAndreTour.com. Buy the tickets now. I'll see you there. And let's go Unzipped, Brent. Let's go Unzipped.
Goodbye.
Peace.
To everybody else. See you in a bit.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent. What will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.